farm the jungle? How do you get to your Battle Fury? Everything needs to be pretty much perfect. So this way, when paired up with Io, you can go for different items. You can pick up Armlet, makes you super sustainable, and then go for a BKB, then go for your big items.
This IG lineup is very early BKB oriented from the looks of it. With Razor, who wants an early BKB, you just said Marcy would like an earlier BKB. DK is a tanky hero that could go for an earlier BKB if need be. It definitely solidifies a timing for them.
It does. It's going to be 3 BKB timing pretty much. Dragonite, Blink into BKB from the from the mid lane, might pick up Mage Slayer, might be the first item of a choice considering that he is playing into Leshrac.
Yeah.
But they have the options. IG, they had the option to lane this Razor mid, but after seeing Ursa, they're like, okay, we'll take it. We'll put Razor in the lane against Ursa, so he's not going to be able to achieve much. And also, throughout the game, if Ursa's played against Enchantress, his overpower gets dispelled, he doesn't deal as much damage. It's much better than it was before, having your talents, especially 15 talents where Earthshock applies to you for swipes charges. I think we're going to see a lot of fighting going on, but do not underestimate Io and Marcy. These two heroes, when played together, can soak up a lot of damage, and also one of the funniest thing is seeing Sidekick on Io. It looks like some kind of a bug. It's just a little bit of light coming out because he doesn't have hands. It's actually a ball. So we didn't know where to put it.
Hopefully we get to see that. And I like this IG lineup. I think it's... I want to say like 55-45 or 60-40 IG in my opinion. I don't know if this Ursa is going to get as much out of the game as they want. I'm interested to see TMing on this Witch Doctor and how much this Voodoo Festoration is going to do. Oh, and
it is go time. Look at him go.
Immediately. Voodoo Festoration, run in, but the Blood Grenade, the right clicks, the turnaround, he needs to be careful as he will survive.
Tried to zone out solo 2 enemy heroes. They throw a Blood Grenade immediately, so he will heal himself up. Still deals damage. The thing about this Voodoo Festoration / Restoration is the AoE is pretty massive. It's so big.
That's quite the AoE. And you don't, when it gets to level 2 and 3, all of a sudden, you don't really recognize that you're taking a significant amount of damage from this Voodoo Festoration.
This is the one where you want to have the shittiest cosmetic in the game so that you actually can't see it. Try to camouflage this Voodoo Restoration. Instead of having, golden circle, just let it be green.
You want the pay to win.
Pretty much. Don't pay anything to win. No.
Just have the default cosmetic. If you're doing Voodoo Festoration, though, I think you need to get the Crimson Witness Witch Doctor one, so it's red. That would be the biggest pay to lose, though. I like the Voodoo Festoration early for sure, but this isn't exactly a lineup of Razor and Enchantress that you'll feel too confident running into. As Bach bottom, he's a couple shots from dead, able to walk it away just barely. He does not have any regen, however, and he's going to ship a salve out to himself.
Tough lane for them. You have Nyx Assassin who's been jungling, using Mind Flare on some of the creeps in jungle. That's about it. And then try to drag the creep wave, and now lane is in a good spot relatively, but you are given complete free farm to Marcy. Ursa's doing much better than I expected. I guess it comes down to Voodoo Festoration again. Zoning out completely 2 heroes, soaking up all of the damage. Oh, that's good, the speed coming.
They can just make moves like that, and that's an early level in the cask. We've seen some Witch Doctors go 0-4-4.
In this lane, he wants to stop Razor from getting the link off with the cask instead of not having a stun. Could be quite difficult to play the lane for low.
Definitely, definitely. Mid is just a farming fest. I don't think Nothing to Say dies in that lane alone. I don't really think Ori dies either unless he's really caught out of position. They don't quite have the supports from IG to make moves over mid. Enchantress and IO aren't exactly the best in locking anybody down.
Ori's the one who's really struggling, at least with getting some CS. 11 denies on Nothing to Say.
This is similar to that DK Ember matchup we saw in the last BO3.
DK does quite well against some of the range heroes from the mid lane. Also putting a lot of pressure, especially with Corrosive Dragon. It does work in melee form, so every single time you get close, you get hit by it. There's constant chip damage, and jungling Axe on the different side of the map. I just had to double check if it's the top part of the map. It's not going to get found by Enchantress,
who pauses the game. Well, quick pause, quick disconnect. We'll be back in a moment. This has forced Bach all the way out of the lane, which means it was already happening when Bach was in the lane. Monet's got free farm. Which, if Bach's not going to show back up to the lane, Xnova can be elsewhere.
He can make a move, but then again, it's only IO, so not very effective. You might have a TP rotation, try to save people with the Healing Lotus with the stick or something, but can't really make super aggressive move. Can rotate to the mid lane, give a little bit of move speed to your mid laner, because he's also having a really good time. Will get level 6 faster than Ori. Marcy left completely alone. I don't know if FY is going to be able to get much done. At least that's some solo XP for him, so he's enjoying his life.
It's solo XP that maybe leads to an earlier vendetta, and they could use that to go around. The only thing that I could see happening is FY gets jumped on and rebound, dispose. He dies pretty quickly. The annoyance now of this Warpine Raider throwing the Seed shot. Obviously, hugely variation of the Acorn shot.
Completely
Same
different
species
spell,
of
yes.
shot, but different spell. Because an acorn is a seed. But a seed is not always an acorn. Did I right?
Wow, yeah, blew my mind.
TMing under the tower. He'll end up dead. JT gets first blood, but trading his life for this. And the Warpine Raider, as well as Bobica, will trade Lowe's life.
Bobica pretty happy about this one. Getting solo XP. 1k gold lead for G2.IG already. FY. He's thinking, where can he go? How do I collect XP? There's not much I can do in this bottom lane.
I really do think you just sit here and soak experience.
Yeah, Bach is doing the old trick with Tranquil Boots jungling, going between the camps, then disassembling mana boot, disassembling the Tranquil Boot so it doesn't get cancelled. It is a lot of work. It's an honest work, but it is a lot of work.
I was thinking the same thing. It's an honest day's work. Oh, TMing caught again. This plasma field will kill him, but they do get the turn on a JT, and every time they kill JT, this feels worth it as long as they don't lose low. Box here, so they have the battle hunger. FY's got a stun in 5 seconds, but they won't need it because they hit the call. They've got the body blocks, and they'll get this kill on the Enchantress.
JT's probably saying, what is enemy off lane doing in the top lane 6 minutes into the game? Axe is jungling in the top part of the map, and FY is like, yeah, I also can't lane bottom, so we will make a new lane for ourselves. And there's a move with IO and Dragonite hitting that level 6 earlier. Then Ori, who's about to crack level 6. They take the tower, play with the catapult wave. G2.IG having a pretty good understanding what needs to be done. Monet actually has Battle Fury in his quick buy.
Yeah, you talked about this at the draft. If people are just joining us, what did you say during the draft? I don't want to mess up your words here.
No, it's just that the hero can't really farm. If you're pushed out of the lane early on, you're trying to get a Battle Fury. IO fixes those problems, so you can go for any item you want. I'm not sure if you still want to go for Battle Fury. Monet type of a guy that when he commits to an item, he does go for it. But having a complete free farm might give you just enough to get away, with that Battle Fury, because your items are gonna come out much faster compared to having armlet, but this also means that you're more heavily focused on farm rather than joining some of these earlier engagements. You will not have that impact with relocate type of a play, armlet, sidekick, unleash. They're setting things up in the bottom lane. Observer ward, scouted witch doctor, Tian Ming. Oh, he knows.
Now he knows, but will this be his life for that ward? Yes, very much so. It does get FY to 6, and it's a quick 6, 8 minutes into the game, a level 6 Nyx Assassin. What can you get done with that? That's the real question.
You'll need to play with Leshrac act as bottom right now. Nyx has a really good faucet. Scuttle, first 15 seconds of Vendetta, you can go through the hills, unobstructed padding, and also being hasted. Bach continues to farm up. This guy has a couple of tricks up his sleeve, considering that he was completely left alone. Still in a good spot. Has the same amount of farm as Ori.
Getting that kill onto the DK, that is an immediate turn with that Vendetta to make something happen where FY gets credit for the kill, but it opens up the game for Ori now. Bach. There it is.
We'll try to stack it one more time. 3 points in counter helix should be good enough to clear this camp. And also found a really good neutral item. Safety bubble for him.
Gotta stay safe. Although, Bach, eating a little bit too much damage. We'll Tranquils and get back in there.
If he doesn't get Tranquil in this scenario, which is what I would say 90% of the pro players would do, his farm would be so bad right now. You would not be able to sustain. Maybe you could buy like a Ring of Health or something, because you need to change up your item build. You need to find a way how to come back into the game, because you basically had no game.
Yeah. He's push out of lane level 3. They are over here towards bottom, maybe looking for Bach. And they've got 4 heroes. They're pushing a tier 2 tower before 10 minutes. And I don't really think Azure 8 can respond.
Well, you're telling me that Nyx Assassin with 1 Impale is not going to stop the whole push?
Pikachu face. Oh, no. I don't think so. I do not think so. Also, this is a...
Oh, they're stealing the stacks. No, you gotta go in. You can't allow this to happen. FY, ready to go.
First 15 seconds, gets that Vendetta and kills off X-Nova. That was good movements there from FY, but Ori walked into a boxer known as Monet on this Marcy. Just got knocked out.
They're back to stealing the stacks.
Oh, gosh,
FY, they were like, okay, we stacked some of these camps. We want to get the XP. So,
seriously, we won't get the gold, but give us the XP at least.
Sitting around, trying to soak up the experience from it.
Also had that Cobalt with them.
Complete free farm on Monet. That's going to be, what, like 12-minute Battle Fury?
Look at Bobica. Just for a second, Lacoste. And tell me how you know, based on all the enchantresses we've seen prior to this, that you know this is Bobica playing this enchantress.
He chooses the different path, 2 different paths. First of all, he did go for Spellbound, and I see max impetus, so he wants to scale. Can't really blame him. Bobica is the OG position for enchantress. I'm gonna kill you alone, mid and late game type of a player.
Fight me. FY. He was on that cliff for a second, but if you ended up losing that scuttle, could have cliffed yourself. He's scuttling, he's looking, he's searching. Maybe finds Bobica. It's a possibility. But Bobica has to step out. JT would be the right marker if they were able to get him. He's got 150 health, and that's it. But not going to find anybody with this Vendetta.
Last like 7-8 minutes of the game, it looked pretty bad for Azure, but they managed to slightly stabilize. It's still a 2k gold lead, which is not too bad. Your Ursa is the Battle Fury, which is great timing. Second on the net worth, 12 minutes in. Same timing as Battle Fury on Marcy, pretty much.
Yeah, but Marcy also went phase Orbit Corrosion.
We don't need to go through all the details.
I'm just saying, it was something I wanted to mention before, too. That we were talking, if you don't have a lane, you don't go Battle Fury, but you had such a lane, you were able to go Battle Fury and Orbit Corrosion. This Marcy's living the dream. The only thing that would make this more of a dream for Marcy is if they could start speaking instead of whistling.
This is going to be one gigantic Marcy throughout the whole game. It's going to be a massive issue. Even if he feeds away 3 kills, he will get the farm. And going for a bit of an item, different item build than what we see, but you have to adjust every single time. Carriers are like, what gives me status resistance? Well, they pick up SNY most of the time, and I also have
Very dead.
Okay, dead.
Unleash.
Dead.
TMing, dead. This is the power of Marcy with level 1 in Unleash. And X-Nova tethered up. And you wanted to see that sidekick, so now we've just got that glowing orb in front of the IO.
These are his hands. That's his left hand on IO. Bach continues to farm up, very close to his Blink Dagger. Will take the XP rune for himself. Also will scan just in case somebody is coming, making sure that he can farm this camp.
Haven't really seen the relocate move yet, but X-Nova, he's tethered up to Monet at all times, and with Unleash not being that long of a cooldown, they can really be involved at any time.
Boboka prepping for the late game, having 3 I don't think I've seen a player buy 3 dust. 1 dust is fine, having a second dust is okay, so just in case you don't go back to base, your courier is dead, or another fight happens. Being on 30-second cooldown, so having 2 charges is fine, but 3 so early on, 14 minutes, I don't think I've ever seen it.
With drums as well.
Had to make sure that you can't dig up dust? With Trusty Shovel.
Checking. Rune, Flask, Mango, Cobalt. Bounty rune, that is. This Blink Dagger. Available. Ooh, they're going to go instead on the Ursa. Whoa! I've heard people talk about taming the bear, but that was certainly it. They go and get the two-man Blink call, and that is amazing with the follow-up cask and Death Ward from TMing. Bach survives. They'll take out Monet. That's a 5-time spree going to Bach. A good amount of gold. They'll find Bobica. Battle Hunger on him. Split Earth lands, and it's FY with that Mind Flare that just kills off the Enchantress.
Oof, man, FY really carrying Azure in the last couple of minutes. Getting the kill on Ayo there, now landing a 3-man stun, bursting Marcy down and giving Bach just enough time to come in with the Blink Dagger, gets a call, and they get a dunk. Overextending there a little bit. Not respecting. I mean, they are pushing a tier 2 tower without a sentry. They do have dust, however. 3 dusts. Very important.
Roche is Azure Raid.
This is massive. The last couple of minutes for Azure, this move, and also stealing Roshan from G2.IG. This type of a play is going to make you... There it is. Bobica.
There's the dust.
Sentry is much more effective against Nyx Assassin. FY with the Blink Dagger ready to go.
TMing's here. Maledic, they don't have the Death Ward, but now the turnaround. Monet is here, and we'll kill off TMing. I don't know what they thought they could get done without Death Ward.
Maybe they thought he's isolated. If he He's not playing with the rest of the team. Maybe they can get a kill, but highly unlikely.
Unlikely.
To get a kill there with no death ward. Need that little bit of extra damage. Good thing about having Ursa in the team, your Tormentor will die almost immediately, 20 minutes into the game, so 2 supports will have it, and these are really good shard supports. Witch Doctor, who's holding the Gree for quite some time. I did say that I wanted to see Spirit Vessel, FY. Seems like he said, I need a Blink Dagger, I need to be the initiator, I also need to be able to get out of trouble in case they buy sentries and I can't get a hit from Vendetta. So we'll need to find a way to start a fight on top of the Axe. So Spirit Vessel on Tian Ming. If he consumes Gree in the next 5 minutes or so, we'll have enough to buy Spirit Vessel. That's gonna be the big one. It's not happening. It's never a good time to use Gree.
It's always an investment. And if I spend it early, there's so much missed out opportunity. Can't spend it this soon. So TP back there. From nothing to say. And a blink into the Dragon Tail. They've got the static link. Ori's in trouble again. Previous 2 deaths have been to Unleash, but this time it's to JT and nothing to say.
Ori not really having a game, but he still has, considering everything, how his lane went, has more farm than nothing to say. Even after getting this kill or assist gold from it, still less farmed.
They'll go up, smoke through the Twin Gates to find something. They've got vision on Bobica, but Monet is also up here. Maybe they can get this kill. However, a call running right over to Bach. There's the rebound, the Force Staff away. Lowe's going to get the kill to Bobica. The look to get Monet. Can they kill him off? The Death Ward was already stopped. Lowe's in a little bit too far. The Unleash, the Link. Bach, Lowe. Lowe's not getting out, but Bach TP'd and he's gone.
FY, another stun in a second.
Maybe some help? No. Monet, just with the Unleash still going, is able to blow up this bear again.
Dies too quickly. They need to control him. Axe needs to be able to control this Marcy, but they also need to kill Io. There's way too much healing right now. They have no healing reduction whatsoever. Usually for Ursa, you do buy Orb of Corrosion, especially in a scenario like this. You're playing against Dragonite, Enchantress, Io, Marcy. Everybody has some kind of a healing. So, kind of needed to have. Eventually, Shiva's Guard, if the game goes long enough, will be picked up by Leshrac. Spirit Vessel on Witch Doctor needs a recipe.
Stacking there, Monet. Super farmed. Super duper farmed. 20 minutes into the game, almost 14,000 net worth compared to this Ursa. Only 1 death for the Marcy, and that was recently 8-1-0 for Monet. Lowe really needing to farm up and get a little bit more, as he's looking for his BKB. Bloodstone for Ori is eventually there. Staff for Bach. This is Blink and Force Staff with the Blade Mail. Nothing queued up just yet, and it's still disassembling and assembling those tranks.
Working pretty hard. One of the hardest working players in Dota scene right now. It's ton of work. This constant pressure, like that you have to use it, otherwise it gets cancelled. But you get the value out of it, and also the Force Staff pickup. Not what we see on Axe nowadays, but great game for it, where he can save whoever is getting linked, whoever gets jumped by Dragonite, gives him another form of initiation if he uses it himself. Tormentor taken. There is XP Rune and Tormi on G2.IG side.
G2.IG stole Azure Rays. Bach was trying to find a blink opportunity because they have this obs that's in the Lotus pool, but they don't catch out Monet and X-Nova, who are seen under that vision.
Marcy almost has 50% slow resistance with Shard on Io and with SNY.
Oh, Nyx.
He's gonna get it.
Unfortunate timing.
Sentry, do they have a dust? They have another Sentry.
They have another Sentry.
in.
Under it, disposed, under this, the stun, the unleash, the kill, but JT is dying at the same time bottom. He did get the Wisdom Rune, though, so at least they trade that.
Relocate to
but
top
now
of
they're
Bach.
relocating in. Bach's going to be in trouble because they've got the unleash. He's trying to get out of there, but there's no chance. Monet taking the killing spree away from Bach.
Ooh, rough game. They are getting still some kills on this side of the map, but you can also see them having a lot of fear when it comes down to relocating on top of them. IO Marcy are going to play together throughout the whole game. You're not going to be linking anybody else, so knowing that there's going to be relocate coming off, even if you make a move, they will come. Everybody's buying a 4-staff Spirit Vessel, at least now available on Tianming.
With one charge and still holding on to the Greek key.
That's going to be his 4-staff money. I think if he has enough, he's going to plop the 4-staff.
We'll see.
Gree. Nothing to say, gets the shard. Bobaka, pretty pissed about this one. Playing Carry Enchantress from position 4 roll. And he
going Nullifier.
Yeah. He sees all these saving tools that they have. Yule Scepter on Leshrac, 4 staffs. He wants to be able to jump the target and kill it.
Just him. He doesn't need anybody else.
We'll need some help to kill. There are tanky cores low. Level 15 on Ursa. Getting close to his BKB. Needs 100 gold. 56% win rate. Dota Plus says for G2.IG. Still high chances of winning, even though they're 8k gold down.
It doesn't quite feel like 8,000 net worth deficit. But you definitely feel the strengths of the Marcy where most of that benefit and that advantage is. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Marcy just deals so much. It says 8k, but knowing what she can do in a fight now with SNY, BKB, having status resistance against Axe, against Nick. Big call and stop relocate from getting off. But Io is also the huge issue. If you're jumping Marcy, Io's gonna get Holy Locket, will get to mech, has great healing Lotus. That's effective, like 2.5, 3,000 heal coming out with these better.
The idea that I think Azure Ray is going to go to is push this tier 2 tower, grab that if they stick, but also looking towards this next Roche. They got the first Aegis, maybe they'll feel confident enough to fight Marcy with the second one. If they get it. And that's the big if, because now it's nighttime, and the side of IG is close enough to this Roche pit that's going to make it very difficult for them to break through and get this second Aegis. And it doesn't even look like that they're going to go that way with low over bottom.
It's going to be perfect timing for G2.IG. They will run into Roche pit with Io Marcy, and Roshan will respawn.
That's the unfortunate part. FY, he's got the vision on JT, but there is nobody else here. Spike Carapace, nothing to say coming in. Uh-oh, Dragon Tail, BKB. It's like they knew. And they have that gem on Dragon Knight. He jumped in just having that sense that maybe JT was going to get jumped.
It's the only way you lose a fight, I would say. So 25-minute gem, slightly earlier, picked up by one of the supports. It was actually Boba. Man, Boba, what is Boba doing? He's getting all these team items. He really wants to win, huh?
Shocking. Shocking that he gets team items. It really is. Oh, TMing. You're not long for this world.
So you die as Witch Doctor, and it's, again, never a good time to use Gree. You're getting the gold. You're not going to use the item anyway if you use it right now.
It's never a good time. And if you don't need the slot, why spend it? Not going to need it for 4 staff either. You've already got the fluffy hat. The slot's established.
Oh, Nothing to say. Knew something was cooking, did not want to overextend. That's the dead spot. That spot, if you go across the river, try to push out that wave, if your feet are wet, you're most likely dead. It gets punished so heavily.
If your feet are wet, you're most likely dead. I gotta remember that. Won't be going into any oceans anytime soon. Or pools. These heroes are top. Yeah, go.
Yeah, you had some stats about sharks, I believe.
And vending
Sharks
machines.
and camels, and who kills the most people.
Oh gosh, I forgot those stats. I don't
It's
remember.
actually hedgehogs and Lego pieces.
Oh no! That's a problem. TPing out, Low gets caught. It was the Warpine Raider that scouted. This Warpine Raider, 28 minutes into the game, being the best scout it can be.
Relocate.
Call. Bach. Does Bach feel tanky enough? Can he help out here? They're trying to go for the IO. They've popped the BKB on Monet. Looking over at Ori with a Bloodstone. The Death Ward's already stopped immediately because they had that Centaur Conqueror getting the stun. Bach's supposed to be the tanky one, but Bach, that's what he looks like, a chicken. And they instantly fry through him.
Man, Centaur Conqueror. Boboka is all over the place with these creeps, so they relocate in, having Aegis on Marcy for another 2.5 minutes, and this just might be game over. I think they might just finish off the game, off this fight. Nullifier is being delivered on Marcy, completely uncontested in the laning stage. One of the toughest heroes to kill when paired up with Io. Insane amount of damage. You show up, you can't focus her down. There's way too much healing, and it's not just that. You have nothing to say. Who's extremely farmed. JT as well. Everybody's building SNY. Satanic. They want to sustain. They do not want to get killed from 100 to 0. And there's going to be at least one side of Barracks. They're deciding how to approach the fight. G2.IG being one game down. They did not want to risk it too much. Old G2.IG would definitely run into Fountain, into Tier 4 towers. They have to pause the game, discuss what's going on, because the shot calling is not the same as before.
They're hoping that they find the opening because they are down a game in this TI qualifying series.
It is time to go. You do not lose this fight. Cheese, Mech, Holy Locket on Io. They want to go through the mid lane. Fake back. There is Aura showing in the mid lane, so they should know something is up. And also, Dragonite just did push the wave.
Can they find the opening? They're going to go for it. They found themselves Ori. They unleash. There's just no way out. He tries to Yules. The Nullifier's there. They get the kill into the Shrek. He'll buy back immediately. Bach with the Ogre Seal Totem to try and get away. They've got the damage, but the cheese is eaten. JT's able to relocate out. They get the kill into TMing. They'll take out the Witch Doctor. They look for Ori. Ori already bought back. The Bloodstone's going to be activated. They get the agents out of the hands of this
No
Marcy.
Yules on him. He's dead.
Oh, Ori's dead a second time. 80 seconds. Nothing to say, though. He dies. He's going to buy back too.
They want to end the game.
into the outpost. They want to end the game here, but they get the Culling Blade on the X-Nova. They don't have an IO. He has buyback too. They do have that option to go to the outpost, but do they want to risk it?
Do they want to risk it? There is buyback on Io available. No relocate.
They don't
to
have
come back into the
Unleash
fight.
for
56
15
seconds.
seconds.
The thing about the dieback on Leshrac, he is such low level 16, only 13 minutes into the game. So he's going to respawn in another 45. G2.IG, they want to go in.
He might be the one getting benefits from the next Wisdom Rune.
Scan did connect. They know something's going on in the triangle.
They come in. They've got the call from Bach, but the Unleash is off cooldown. Bach with the Ogre Seal Totem, but JT sticks with him. Monet trying to stay alive, but he falls. It's TMing who gets the kill. Nothing to say. You got to remember that he bought back. JT is off to the side, and he is floating through this fight as he is trying to get the kill into the TMing Witch Doctor and Will. But Low going back in. He's silenced up. He jumped back for what? He's dead for 70.
There's no buyback on him. And now the buybacks are coming back up.
Blink, call, Ori back alive in a second. The blade mail, is it going to be enough? No, it won't. Nothing to say. He's got that kill. He finally dies. He bought back previously. He's going to be dead for 100 seconds. JT fighting the Bloodstone. Ori was tracked.
JT should be able to survive going forward with X-Nova as well as Boba, because there's nothing F-Fly can do to really save him until the blink, the stun, oh, the Mind Flare, the double stun from Ori with the split earth. He gets the 4-step, he's away, but this Nyx assassin dies.
This gave them one more fight. These buybacks that they used 30 seconds without Ursa. Marcy's coming out. She bought all the items. Nullifier, Skull Basher available. Razor having a complete free reign in this fight. I mean, this time around, he is tethered to Io, so whoever is tethered to Io is going to pretty much deal the most damage.
最主要我5个孙子又看到他大学毕业，
如果没有健康的话，我追逐不到我的梦想。
做点运动就是散步，还有就是注意饮食咯。
Dan sekarang saya kurangkan makanan kolesterol di samping mengambil sugar pada setiap hari.
Followed up with the BKBs, they go to the Unleash, Low trying to fight, 1v1! Who's gonna win this
He needed
boxing
one
match?
more
It's gonna be
hit.
Monet going in, all he needed was one more hit, they get the kill, don't worry, but they'll end up losing Monet! He's dead again for 70 seconds, Bach is back alive, Tian Ming hit with an Nullifier, the blink, the call on the 2, is it gonna be enough for Bach with the help from Ho? Right clicks in, the Culling Blade is there, they get the kill on JT, they look over at X-Nova, this is gonna be another Culling Blade from Bach, they are continuing to put out the hits! Bach going into Bachman-Turner overdrive with the calls, but it's still a 17,000 net worth deficit for the side of Azure.
Signs of life for Azure. This could be, if they have one more fight like this, could be a big comeback coming out. Axe did own that fight, and also why we said during the draft that Ursa is one of the heroes who can square up against Marcy during the Unleash with his Enrage and try to deal damage. There is Tormi available on their side, should probably pick it up. Roshan also potentially respawning. If this is some like early respawn time for Roche, Luke gets it on Radiant's side. Could be massive.
We'll find out in a second.
See,
He's gonna
2
sit in the pit.
seconds. He's not gonna sit in the pit. Go back. Just check. Okay, it's a
minute.
full minute.
That means it's gonna be up top. Unfortunate for the side of Azure that it's not gonna be there immediately. Now Marcy's got the shard. That's the upgrade of the rebound. Ogre Seal Totem picked up for the IO of X-Nova. We've seen the Ogre Seal Totem that's on Bach that's really helped out. Here are these heroes on IG. They are now set on Roche, top. You know it's not going to be in that pit area yet because it's still daytime. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Four staff, Ogre Seal
Bach.
Totem, they're chasing.
Bach, he doesn't have any more movement available. They've got the call. He's forced to pop the BKB,
But
but
the Basher.
Oh, with the Unleash, Bach's dead for 70. He's such a huge part of this team right now. But
He does not have
dead.
buy for 4 minutes. This should be Roshan for G2.IG. Without Axe, they don't take that fight. Ooh, a lot of these smaller mistakes. They had the entry, they had the opening for a potential comeback coming out. Now with Bach dead for 45 seconds. He's also itemizing to get out of the fight. He wants to go in, force himself out of the trouble, just so that he can control Marcy, but also not die to Marcy. That's why in these high professional e-gamer matches, you will see Axe by something like a Ghost Scepter, a Yule Scepter, where he jumps in and then yields himself into the air or uses Ghost Scepter so that he can't be attacked and is the one controlling. Oh god, now Marcy picked up Aghanim Scepter, so we'll have that silence. It's not as good as it was before. It's only 1 second silence, but every single time you use the ability or pulse it, whenever it pulses, it does silence. So gonna be pretty big controlling the fight. You silence the Ursa. After a BKB, he's gonna drop.
Bach getting the shard from that Tormentor that they just did. They need to heal up within the well as they're looking to get mega creeps. And not only that, they're looking to finish the game. They're up 23,000 net worth. Bach has to find the perfect opening on this Axe. We have seen clutch moments from Axe players in games before. As he hides within the trees. The Unleash, the blink, the call, the blade mail. Popped immediately, trying to pull him in. It pulls him into the Maledict, but Tian Ming, no follow-up. Spirit
It needs to
Vessel
be
on
low.
Monet.
It needs to be low who jumps in once the Axe blinks in. No,
Blink
Unleash.
low.
Whoa, FY, and now Monet's gonna go in, finds Bach, the dispose. Bach needs to get away, the force staff, the gems on the deck, they get the kill on FY and Bach. They both don't have buyback, so now your Blink Call, your Blade Mail is gone, and your racks, they are destroyed. That is mega creeps here for the side of IG. They'll go for the tier 4s, and instead of fighting back, Azure will call GG. We are going to a deciding game 3 to see who goes to TI.
As expected, these two teams, they looked very close so far in the qualifiers. So going to game 3, kind of expected. And G2.IG, they executed the draft. This draft was really good. A lot of tempo. Marcy plus IO. I don't think we're going to see that coming into the third game. A lot of these heroes that cause issues needs to be banned out immediately in the next game. You can take out IO, then Marcy is not as powerful, so that might be how you want to approach the draft for Azure. Right. But he went ham. He went pretty ham. Had a complete free farm. Axe was jungling, level 3, Nyx Assassin soaking up some of the experience. What looked like a disaster of a laning stage for Azure, they still managed to make a big comeback play, especially this one. This is the one fight. If they lose that fight, the game would be in such a difficult spot to prolong the game, because the game lasted for 37 minutes. This was a 15-minute fight. If they lose that fight, game probably lasts 30 minutes, maybe even less. They did so much, even exceeded my expectations defending with the heroes that they had against Marcy, because this Marcy was just almost unkillable. They needed to use every single thing on their side, every single item to try to burst this Marcy down.
Yeah, Enchantress might be the one that has untouchable, but it really did feel like it was the Marcy that was untouchable in this game for 95% of it. Monet just got a free lane, and we see the devastating perks of having a free lane like that. In this moment right there where Low turns around, one shot away from killing Monet. Monet does end up dying anyway there, but that, it's these fights that tether on the edge of going one way or another.
Yeah, they were really pushing the limits here on Azure. They lose that fight here, the game is immediately over. This was the jump where Bach did go in. That was the fight before that, like maybe 30 seconds before, where Low did not connect onto the target. They wanted to jump the Marcy with the call. He uses Force Staff, he uses his Ogre Seal Totem, while Ursa tries to deal damage. It was a bit too much at this point. It was not just about Marcy. You also had JT on Razor, who was super farmed, and also nothing to say. Pretty difficult heroes to take down at the later stages of the game. You need to